can't run more than 40 yards without hitting somebody, but I usually don't want hot things.
It's okay.
All right.
Burn!
Sorry, he's a good man. I want to introduce Coach Seid. He is an institution at Long Beach State. Been here 30 years. This is 30th year as our head coach. Not only that, we've had 8 conference championships, over 50 All-Americans, one of which is sitting in front of us here. And so, with great honor, I introduce our head coach, Andy Seid.
Hi, everybody. All right, it's good to be back here. I think it's been about a year since we spoke, and last year we talked about our goals to win a conference title. And I'm proud to stand up here for the first time ever and tell you that on the women's side, we brought home the conference championship. We are defending Big West champions. I brought some athletes along with me tonight, 2 of which are from that championship team last year on the women's side. And I'll just do some introductions. I'll have them stand up and they can sit down again. This is Deandra Young. Deandra's the team captain. She captains our throw squad. This is her second year in a row being the team captain. And Deandra is not a good athlete. She's a great athlete. And you know, one of those that came to our program under the guidance of our great throws coach, Corey Lobel, and has developed into one of the best in the nation. She's our school record holder now, over 200 and some odd feet in the hammer throw, and doing some amazing things. So look for big things from her this year. Over here to the other side, one of our captains from last year is Bria Palmer. Bria, please stand up. Bria, it came down, the conference championship came down to the last 2 events last year. We knew we were going to win the 4x4. That's what we do in the beach. We win 4x4s just like at Pauley or the other schools. We know that's a given. In the high jump, we needed 10 points, and we were scored out to pick up 6. And her and a teammate came through, got us the 10 points we needed, and we beat Santa Barbara by 2 points to win the Big West Championship. Right now, Bria is the conference leader in the high jump. She won at UCLA this weekend. But that's something she does all the time. In her career at Long Beach State in 3 years, she's won over 90% of the high jump competition she's competed in. So, she may be small, but she is mighty. So when you take the button off, she's only 5'5", and she's almost made 6 feet. So she's jumping well above her hip. So this young lady is a great one. On the men's side today, you have 2 of your local athletes that we brought. Both are All-Americans. Vincent Calhoun in the back here, Pauley graduate. He competed in the high school state meet for Pauley, and then he came to us after going through junior college and such. And he was an All-American his first year, went 7.2.5. This year, he opened up his first meet in a downpour at our beach opener and jumped 7.3. So that was pretty special. And Vincent really is a versatile athlete. He can do anything. Anything we put him in, he's going to be great at. This guy here next to him is from Wilson. He'd probably argue that point. So Kimani, please stand up. This is Kimani Briggs from Wilson High School. Like Vincent, he went this direction, then came back to the beach, and he was at Texas Tech his freshman year. We got him in, and we've told his story here before. He was a 400-meter state champion out of high school, and then at Long Beach State, we thought, you know what, we need a few points in another event. Have you ever long jumped? Yeah, I tried it once in high school, went 22.6, so we brought him out. That year, as a freshman, he won the conference meet, jumped 26 feet. Okay, so we went 3.5 feet farther than that, and then he's been consistently over 26 since. He is a 3-time defending Big West champion, an NCAA All-American in indoors this year, and if he's successful at defending his title this year, he will be the first athlete ever in the history of the Big West to defend his title 3 times and win it all 4 years. So. So you can ask them some questions in a minute. I just want to tell you that our years started off well. It's been bumpy with the weather, and this has been one of those years when you're really happy that the Long Beach schools have all-weather tracks now, because it's been a rough go. And I felt we were in better shape back in December than we are, going into March this year. But we're turning that corner. One thing I do want to point out that I'm really proud about is up until this last week, going into our 4th week, starting the 5th week of the season for outdoors, we have 3 athletes on our men's team ranked #1 in the nation. And so I'll kind of name who those were. One was Kamani Briggs after Arizona State, led the nation in the long jump. A week after, he was an All-American indoors. We have Herman Day in the decathlon, scored a huge score, 7,410 points. All-American, not All-American, but leading in the nation. And then currently we have Vincent back here, who was #1 in the nation all the way until last week, when the Texas relays and the Florida relays and all the big relays, Stanford Invitational, all of those meets happened. Some guy got him by a 1/4 of an inch, so he's a 1/4 of an inch out of the National League right now. We just have to do something about that this weekend. So we'll be at a 4-way meet called the Big West Challenge. It's in its 27th year. It's with Irvine, Santa Barbara, Fullerton. It's a knockdown drag-out. There's a lot of bragging rights. Any of these guys who've been through the meet down here, like Cameron, know what a great event this is. We'll probably get more lifetime vests out of this meet than any. Matter of fact, in the back of the room, Armando Hart, he ran in this meet in its early years. I said 27 years, I'm sorry, that dates you a little bit. But ran in his early years, and he broke the school record in 2 events that day, ran 10:30 and 20:72 when we were at Cal State Fullerton. We've won that meet. On the men's side, we've defended that title 11 years in a row until last year, and now we got to go and win it back. So it's going to be a fun meet. Look for good results, and then that kicks us into our later season, where we have our beach invite and then conference championships. Beach Invitational is a big event coming up for us. We host over 150 schools. We'll have Olympic gold medalists as before. As we always do, we'll also have 150 collegiate teams, about 4,000 participants. And this is going to happen on the Saturday before Easter. And I'm telling you right now, I am so nervous we're not going to have enough volunteers. And so I'll ask that the club maybe send something out, and we'll get something to all of you to ask for something, even if it's just a small block of your time to come participate. But you will not be disappointed when you come to this event, and all the pageantry that goes with it, and all the other things. This is our 25th annual beach invite. We want to make it special. Rob Clark has actually helped us, and he's sent out some emails to alum inviting them to put their name on an event, be an event sponsor, do something to give back to this event, because this event is our pride and joy. It is everything to our program. For these athletes, it brings the best competition home, where we can compete against the best and show off our best to the community. For our budget, it's our biggest fundraiser of the year. So in any way that you can possibly support, whether it's to name an event after your family, or to come and give some of your time, or do both, that would be a huge help. Cameron Ford down here probably has done anywhere from 5 to 7 years of time. That's almost like jail time when you come. But he's a glutton for punishment. He's been our clerk of the course for the last 2 or 3 years, and that is the toughest job at the meet. So you want to get something done, give it to a guy who's tough. Cameron's our guy, and he's helping make that event flow. We pride ourselves in running on time, having great competitions. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we'll feed you if you can stay for a while, and we'll get you a shirt too. So we'll take care of it. So Big West Championships coming up. We're going to go back to Santa Barbara after competing there this weekend. We'll be there in the 1st and 2nd weekends of May. And where we hope to not only win the title in the women, defend it, but also get it back on the men's side. It would be the first time in program history that we've won both in the same year. And so that is our ambition. That's what we want to do. And we hope to make you proud and come back here next year and introduce us as double champions.
There you go. All right.
So we have questions. We got the coach. We got the athletes. Where we go? It starts right to left. So I'm going to go Bond.
The Beach Invitational will be on the 20th of April.
Ben.
April 20th. There's also some events on Friday, but the 20th is a bit overwhelming. So that day is our prime day to get our help in. Thank you.
I'm sorry. So I'm going. Yes.
You still run the 400?
Yes, I do.
Does he do any good there, Coach?
Well, he's got the slowest time in the conference this year so far. He hasn't run it yet, so this will be his opening weekend running the 400. My prediction is he's going to break the meet record in the long jump and the 400 at the Big West Challenge this year. Those are almost given, but I know that there's some athletes in the conference that are pretty fast who would like to have something to say about that. So we got to bring our A game.
Yes, sir.
So our high jumpers, do you guys jump at the same time? Do you do your workout at the same time for high jumping and coaching you guys?
Yeah, we pretty much do every other bar, like we switch go men and women, and sometimes the ladies jump at the same time. The opener jump at the same time.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Just want to let you know that Andy Scythe is our longest tenured coach member at 31 years. He must have started when he was 15. Good. Thank you. He didn't look like he's old enough to be a 31-year member, but I hope we can help him as far as the volunteers go. You know, Easter Sunday weekend is a tough time because I know a lot of people are on vacation, especially the Unified School District employees. But we're going to send out an email. Dan's going to get on it, and if you see it, you can hang out for a little bit. We'd love for you to help. Any other quick questions before we wrap this up? We're going to take some pictures. Thank you very much, Coach, for coming.